Hi, my name is Jessica Lodge. I am the managing editor for Dilley University's Kuvion, and I'm here with award-winning sports journalist Jemele Hill. Once again, we want to thank you for coming to Dilley University. It is such an honor and such a pleasure to be able to talk with you. So, as a female sports journalist, what were you able to do going throughout your career to differentiate yourself in such a male-dominated field to make you stand out and get and earn these great opportunities to get you where you are today?
Well, I never looked at it as I had to do something to make myself stand out because there's a certain inauthenticity that comes with that. Because if you're trying too hard, then I think people can kind of see through that. What you have to focus on is just really the craft. The work speaks for itself. So I never ever purposely went into any TV show, anything I've written over the course of my career and said, let me write something just so I can quote unquote stand out. I don't really, you know, operate that way. So I think, generally speaking, especially as you find your voice, as you progress in your career, that's the thing that stands out. Like there's only one you. That's it. So it's just sort of like I was just gonna be the best version of myself and represent that in my work.
As far as you've come and you look back over the years and everything you've accomplished, what is a piece of advice that you would give to your younger self, knowing everything that you know now?
Well, I definitely would say don't sign up for a credit card in college. That was such a mistake. No, but seriously, beyond all that, I think I probably would have taken even more chances than I did, and just seen the world in an even bigger way. I think we can, especially depending on what your background, we can be so limited in our thinking by thinking either there's only a certain way to do that, or I'm from here, or I'm black, I'm not supposed to do X. And so I wish that I would have even thought even broader, even though I'm always a person that's been, naturally curious. And so, I mean, I'd say that to myself, then I'd say that to probably any young person. And I'd also say to young people who are pursuing careers to not worry about how much money you make, standing out. I mean, those are natural career anxieties, and I get that. But worry more about perfecting what you're doing. Get the reps. Worry about developing whatever craft that you want to kind of go into. Because even though the technology may change, a lot of other things may change, what doesn't change is how you approach your job. You may not be, I've always thought, like, I'm not like the best writer. I can write pretty well. But what I wasn't going to do is let people outwork me. Like, so worry about the things that you can actually control and spend less time, energy, effort on the things that you can't. You can't worry about how people perceive you. You can't worry about what somebody says about you. You can't control a lot of those things, and yet those tend to be the things that we harp on and obsess about. But what you can control is showing up on time, how hard you work, and your dedication and commitment. So you invest all your energy into that, and I guarantee you it will get you to someplace special.
So, what was the defining moment that really let you know, like at the young age that you said around like 8 or 9, that you wanted to be a sports journalist? Like, what told you, like, well, this is what I really want to do for the rest of my life?
I think it was because I was reading the work of some of my favorite columnists, and I was inspired by the fact that things I was thinking, things I was feeling about a particular event or an issue or a person, they would say exactly what I wanted to say, and I could relate, or it resonated with me, or they make me think about something in a different way that it hadn't previously occurred to me. And so, because of that, I wanted to have that same kind of impact and influence on people. I wanted them to think differently about something. I wanted them to see a different side of an issue that they hadn't considered. I wanted them to be aware of something that was happening that they didn't know. So that's all the things that inspired me to not just write, but to specifically be a journalist. And plus, I love to tell stories. And I love to tell the stories of people both known and unknown. And so I think in order to be a journalist, you have to be naturally curious about everything. And I was all those things. And so it seemed like sports was what I was destined to do.
If you could describe yourself in one word, a very good word, what would it be and why?
It's not the most creative word to use, but I'll just say unapologetic. Because I think, especially at this point in my career where I've experienced so much, accomplished a few things, done a lot, I'm in a position where I just don't really have to apologize for anything. And that's kind of a very liberating feeling to have. Because I think if you operate with that mentality, you can take risk and good risk, that is. You can take risk, you can take chances, you can venture out and really expand your growth because you can only grow by being uncomfortable. Like if you're in a situation where you know everything or have everything figured out, you're probably not growing that much. With growth has to come some discomfort. So I'm at a point where I'm comfortable being uncomfortable, and I like that. And so it challenges me, uh, to continue to do better and to want different things.
So, what are some things we can expect next from Jemele?
Well, I will continue to write great content for the Undefeated. I think there's some TV specials that I'll be doing, hopefully by the end of the year. I've launched a production company. There's some things that, content-wise, we're pitching. So you may see me in the next year or two do more things on the producer end as opposed to front-facing talent.
Well, thank you so much once again. Thank you for your time, and it was a great pleasure having you here.
Appreciate it.
Is it good? Can you hear me? Mic test.